And good evening, welcome, and thank you for joining us at Boys from the Baltic Star. We are a narrative gaming stream, and on Fridays we play Traveller. So if you check our most recent broadcast, that's what we did last night. And on Saturdays, as a public service announcement, the clocks change in the UK, so remember that. It may be important later. And we are going to play a classic fighting fantasy game book. Demons of the Deep. This was first published in 1986, and it is number 19 in the original series. Um, and I'm quite excited about this. It is written apparently by Steve Jackson, but I don't know which Steve Jackson, because that's a whole thing. Um, I'm joined this evening by Ewan. How are you, Ewan? Are you well?
Hello, Ben. Yeah, I'm very good, thanks. I'm excited. There's lots of fun things happening. We've got demons. We've got something that's deep. We've got a bit of time travel later when we hit that time. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure the time
feeling good
travel
about this
will
one.
will will be a thing that we will notice exactly as it happens. Yes, it's weird when you watch your phone do that thing, isn't it? Though, when you actually watch
Yeah,
the
yeah,
clock
yeah.
change in front of you.
A minute goes by and it seems like an hour.
It does seem like that. Yeah, it really does. Okay, so uh, we are going to have some fun, and if history is any judge, we are going to fail dismally at this one. We have we haven't actually played all 18 of the ones before this because I didn't have all 18, but we've played a significant number, like at least a dozen, and we are so far not able to report that we have ever successfully completed a single one. Um, which may be a strength of these game books in the sense that they are supposed to reward repeat play. But statistically, we've got to get it right once, right?
We're getting close. I feel like we're knocking on the door. We just need that little push. Find a little push. Like we're gonna do it. Any tonight. Tonight's the night, Ben.
Tonight could be the night. Okay. So we have to begin by creating our characters with their stats. And if you're familiar with these, I'm sure this will seem very obvious, but for anyone who hasn't played one of these before or used the Fighting Fantasy RPG rules, your basic three stats are skill, stamina, and luck. And this particular game book just has those. Some use magic values or other things, but this one, skill, stamina, and luck. So, Ewan, we are each going to roll 1d6 and add 6 to it, and that's going to be our starting skill. Okay?
Yeah, I am ready. I'm feeling another reason to feel good is because when you run the sorry Ben, when, when you ran this game for us at the convention, both of the players both rolled sixes and got 12. And I said that and I rolled a six and got 12.
Yeah, so did I.
Oh, Ben, unbelievable.
Um, yes.
I mean, it doesn't mean we're going to win, but
Uh, no, it really doesn't, but it can help, frankly. Okay.
yes, yeah.
Stamina 2d6 plus 12. Okay,
Ooh,
that's a
that's
bit
not
more
quite as.
dismal.
Ooh, mine's an eight. I don't know where's good for the dice. Plus the 12, obviously.
Yep.
It's
So I have a
20.
stamina of 17 total. And then luck 1d6 plus 6.
Let's change over the dice.
Well, that's mediocre.
Mine's a 2 plus 6 is an 8.
Okay, so I have 12, 17, and 9 as my basic stats.
Yeah, not bad. 12, 20, and 8.
Excellent. Right. Now, we each begin the
However,
game with 10 provisions. You can have these provisions whenever you want, and unless you're in combat.
hmm
And each time you eat a provision, it will restore 4 stamina points. Other than the occasional description in the game text, there may also be potions, which can restore other things,
yeah,
but we don't start with any of those.
Well, is this
Okay.
the first one where we haven't had something else?
I don't
Might not
know.
be,
I have a vague
but
feeling
quite a few of them.
some of the early ones we may not have started with anything.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that
I'm
would
not
make sense.
sure, to be honest.
Hmm.
But it's certainly possible that we've started as bare as this. I think actually Warlock we may have started with nothing except skill, stamina, and luck. There may have been
Yeah,
one
that's
actually where we
that's
even
possible.
wasn't there one we started unarmed? Was that House of Hell? We didn't even have a weapon.
Yes, that was. I think.
Oh, that was
But
brutal.
again, that kind of makes sense. That was brutal.
Yeah,
Really was.
that was a tough one. And this one's going to be much easier because Demons of the Deep sounds really cuddly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Despite the
It's like
cover
the
art
light-hearted.
that clearly depicts an actual demon of the deep. Right, so let's begin.
uh, Hold on a minute, Ben. I think you're forgetting the most important part of the multiplayer version.
Oh my god, I am.
I hate to bring it up,
Oh,
but
we haven't done one of these for a
somebody
few
else
weeks.
will
I'd
if I
completely
don't bring it
forgotten.
up.
So, we had cheerfully when I was at
And I
school
hate it every time.
and friends and I did this. What we had to do was balance the game a bit because otherwise, if you went through with more than one character, you would be wildly too powerful. So what we did basically was knock off 4 points of your choice from your stats every time you added another person. So as there are two of us, we're going to have to drop 4 of our starting values. And sadly, that glorious 12 I rolled in skill, I'm going to have to sacrifice a bit of that to take it down to 11, I think, so that I can maintain a mediocre 14 in stamina and keep all of my luck.
Yeah, I'm certainly going to keep all of my luck as well. Uh, and I might go down to a 10 skill and an 18 stamina.
Okay. This can only end brilliantly. Thank you for reminding me,
Yes.
Ewan.
Well, I'd feel as though if we did it and we went through and we completed this one and we hadn't done that,
Yeah,
it would
yeah, that would be
would
bad.
it count?
Yes, that would be even worse than Scorpion Swamp.
Mm,
And
yeah,
Scorpion Swamp
it would
was
indeed.
hard to live with. Okay, so the background. You are a doughty sailor, a rover of the seven seas. You have many years' experience as a mariner, on great ships and small, on sailing boats and huge warships. Neither howling storm nor dead calm disturbs you. Your trusty cutlass has slain many brigands and strange creatures of the deep. In port, you keep your listeners enthralled with your sea stories. Some are true, some aren't, but nobody knows the difference except you. You are 5 days out of Port Blacksand, first mate on the good ship Sunfish, when the pirate ship strikes. Swooping in on black sails like the wings of some giant predatory seabird, it rams its prow across your decks. Beneath a leering, sharp-toothed figurehead is her name, the Troll. Dozens of ragged pirates swarm across the rails and attack. The crew of the Sunfish fights bravely, but a peaceful merchant ship is no match for a pirate vessel. One by one you see your comrades fall. At last, only you are left. With your back to the mainmast, you lay about you with your trusty sabre, wounding one pirate after another. The pirates back away from you in fear. You drop your guard for a second, but too soon. From behind you, a black-bearded ruffian swings a huge belaying pin. You see stars, then nothing. When you awake, you're surprised to find yourself still alive. The Sunfish, a battered wreck, is burning nearby. Your comrades' bodies are gone, consigned no doubt to the deeps. You are on the deck of the Troll. Its sails snap in the breeze as the pirates head for their island lair. You try to stand and find you are tied to the mast. A coarse laugh comes from behind you. So, our hero is awake. The speaker steps into view and you see your captor, a bald, burly man in a once elegant purple coat. He sweeps a mocking bow. Captain Bloodaxe, at your service. A pleasure to meet such a valiant fighter. I would offer you a place in my crew, but somehow you don't seem quite our type. Whatever shall we do with you? Several of the jeering pirates begin to offer suggestions. Keel-haul him, run him up the mainmast and use him for a flag. Troll for sharks with him as the bait. But Captain Bloodaxe waves them to silence. No, my hearties, how savage of you. You should be ashamed of yourselves. This one stood alone and defied us, slaying many of our comrades. Such a worthy fighter must be rewarded fittingly, and will leave the ship unharmed. The pirates grumble, but the captain shouts them down. First, we must return your good sword to you. He picks it up from the deck and replaces it in the scabbard at your belt. Second, we must give you provisions for the trip. He snaps his fingers, and a pirate brings a bag of black bread and salt beef. Enough provisions for 10 meals. He ties the heavy bag to your belt. Third, we must release those cruel bonds. He draws his dirk and slashes the ropes that hold you to the mast. He yanks you to your feet, your hands still tied behind you. You'll forgive me if I don't untie your hands just yet, but you're a very dangerous foe. Behind him the pirates snicker. And finally, we must give you your freedom. He escorts you to the stern of the ship, where the lifeboats are tied. The pirate crew follows, grumbling. Unfortunately, he adds, we can't spare a boat, so you'll just have to swim home. With a powerful shove, he sends you over the railing. You hit the water with a tremendous splash. As Captain Bloodaxe's gifts drag you underwater, you hear the pirate crew laughing at the joke. Now turn over. 1. You slink slowly beneath the surface, holding your breath. Desperately you try to free your hands, but the bonds are tight. Deeper and deeper you sink. Curious fish circle around you, and the world slowly turns sea green. The ocean is shallow here, and you see that you are descending towards tall spires of coral. No, not coral, but a sunken city. You are drifting into the middle of a stately courtyard, now overgrown with weeds and coral. As your feet touch the bottom, you see lines of light blaze all around you. You gasp, losing most of your breath in a great bubble. The whole courtyard is a giant magical pentagram, and you are standing in its centre. You have no time to appreciate the magic, however. You must swing back to the surface or drown. But the weight at your belt holds you down, and you cannot untie your hands. At last your strength fails, and you inhale the cold water. But you remain unharmed. You realise that the magic of the pentagram has somehow protected you from drowning. You kick your way to a sharp coral spire and rub the rope against it until your hands are free. A strange feeling at your throat prompts you to look at your reflection in your shining sword. The spell has given you gills. You can breathe the water just like a merman. You find that your leather bag of 10 provisions is intact. Evidently the spell is also keeping the food from being ruined by the seawater. If you pull off your heavy belt and swim back to the surface, turn to 63. If you explore the sunken courtyard instead, 173. Okay, so that's our first actual choice. We can pull off the heavy belt and swim back to the surface, or explore the courtyard. I mean, I could say very simply, I feel a courtyard is a door. But and clearly not a natural door, so we needn't fear it. But also, just the fact that we can now breathe underwater, it seems silly to immediately then kick back for the surface.
Yeah, I mean, we've spent the whole of our lives on the surface. Why would we waste these gills that we've been given?
Absolutely. This feels definitely like a thing that we can and should do. Are you okay with exploring?
Make it so, then. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, we will explore the sunken courtyard with its pentagram. Turn to 173. Curious about your new surroundings, you circle the courtyard. you find that swimming is now very natural to you. The magic pentagram is formed of deep red and green tiles, still clean and shiny, despite the weeds and coral that choke the rest of the courtyard. The buildings around you are made of grey stone. One is both larger and taller than the rest, and seems in much better repair. You see nothing around you except fish. Then, from the corner of your eye, you spy movement in the large building. You realise that you are being watched. If you go into the large building to confront the watchers, or we can swim up and go out of the courtyard to see what we can find. Large buildings have doors.
Well, yeah, that's true, I suppose. Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous about all of these because we could die really fast in this one, I think.
No, it's fine, Ben. Don't worry. There's no demons. Not yet. It's too early for demons.
Far too early for demons. Okay. We will... We will try the building in the courtyard. That's 211. Large building, confront watchers, 211, yes. You swim into the large building, sword at the ready, but you confront not a monster, but a beautiful mermaid. You know instinctively that she means you no harm, and put up your sword, embarrassed. But she smiles at you anyway, saying, "You are wise, sailor. There are many evil monsters here in Atlantis, and a ready sword is nothing to be ashamed of. In the windows of our cathedral I saw that you would come here, and I came to meet you. But why did I not drown, you ask? She replies, by entering the pentagram you came under the protection of powerful magic. You have been given a set of gills just like mine. Until nightfall you will be able to breathe underwater. But don't go to the surface before then unless you must. Once you breathe surface air, the spell will vanish regardless of the time." Okay, that's useful. "I must find a way to defeat the pirates, you say." The mermaid smiles. "Defeat them you will, if you are strong and clever enough," she replies. "Nobody comes to Atlantis by accident. I can tell you this much. Seek out the Black Pearls. They have powerful magic that will give you your best chance for victory. And because you fight against great odds," she continues, "I will give you a lucky charm." From around her neck she takes a pendant in the form of a shell and gives it to you. "You may use this charm instead of testing your luck. The charm will make you automatically lucky and you won't have to spend a luck point. But you may use it once and once only, then it will vanish." The mermaid smiles at you, blows you a kiss, and vanishes through a window with a flip of her tail. Looking around the room you see nothing of great interest. Stairs lead upward, and a dark shaft leads downward. Will you go upward, or go downward, or leave the building and explore elsewhere?
What do you think?
Well, I don't have any strong reason to favour up or down in particular. Lucky Charm is useful, but I get the feeling it's a really powerful magic item. So the fact that we get it that easily and that early probably doesn't bode well.
Oh, don't say you're worried, Ben.
Not terribly worried at the moment. I don't know. I'm tempted to say before we leave the building we should probably have a look around either up or down, but I have no strong feelings.
Okay, let's go up.
Up, okay.
Yeah.
Going upward, we turn to 398. Okay. You follow the stairs upwards, feeling very light and agile. At the top of the stairs, the doorway is open. The door has long since rotted. The room is littered with shells and seaweed. A silvery shape moves towards you, then another and another. The room is the lair of 3 barracudas. These silvery fish are as long as a man, but very slender. They seem to be all eyes and teeth. They circle you greedily. You must fight them. With your back to the doorway, you can meet them one at a time. They are much faster than you, so you cannot even try to escape. If you kill the barracudas, you will find 4 gold pieces. Okay, well, that's getting ahead of ourselves. So, I feel it's only fair that since the two of us are facing, we should take on one each to start with.
Yes.
So, what do you fancy, the first or the second barracuda?
Give me the second barracuda, please, Ben.
Okay, the second barracuda has skill 6 and stamina 6.
6 and 6.
Okay. I
Yeah.
lucked out a little bit here. The first barracuda has skill 6 and stamina 4.
Ooh.
Okay, so away we go. Round 1. Let's roll our attacks. 2d6
Let's
plus
not die.
skill.
6
I
plus
rolled a
10,
6.
16.
So that's a total of 17 for me.
Nice.
And my first barracuda, 7 plus 6 is 13. So I've knocked it down by 2.
I rolled a 6 plus 6 is 12. So
Excellent.
I knocked mine down by 2.
So far, it's all going brilliantly, despite
Yeah.
Luke's enthusiastic mockery.
I know. And wish for our demise.
Well, yes, I understand. Yes, I would be wishing for his, frankly. If the positions were reversed.
I still want to know where's taking bets on us dying.
Yeah,
When are we getting
and what's
a
the
cut of the
line?
action?
Well, I mean, there's
Yeah.
got to be a line somewhere, right? Is it before a certain time or after?
Yeah, definitely. Mine's a 9 plus 10 is a 19.
I rolled a 7, so that's plus 11 is 18 for me. My barracuda is going to need a bit of a miracle.
Yeah, same.
And that miracle does not happen. He rolls a 5 and a 4, so he is done.
Yeah, mine got a 10. Still rolled quite well, but not well enough.
These are not skillful fish. Okay.
But I still do have two stamina points.
Right, then I shall engage
Remaining.
barracuda number 3 while you finish off barracuda number 2.
That seems fair. Ooh, maybe with a 15.
This time I rolled a mere 6. Still 17 though, not too bad. But not enough for the barracuda. A total of 14. This is an even less skillful barracuda. Skill 5, this one, believe it or not.
Ooh, mine rolled a 10 for a 16. So I go down to 2 stamina points. Luke will be happy.
A wound.
It's begun.
A wound. Okay.
That is right. It is 2, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 each hit, yes.
Is that correct? Yeah. Perfect.
Unless you want to spend some luck, of course.
Not just yet.
Yeah.
Seems early for the lucky shell.
It does seem early. Okay.
Somewhat selfish.
Okay, I rolled a 7, so that's a total of 18.
Mine's a 6, so 16.
And the barracuda rolled a 7 for a total of 12.
Nice. And mine's an 8 for a 14.
And does that take your barracuda down to its death?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well then, you'll be pleased to know the third barracuda is looking a bit ropey. Skill 5 and currently stamina 2. I feel we might have this one.
Don't speak too soon, Ben.
Okay. Attack rolls away. I rolled a mere 6, but that's still enough for 17.
Mine is a 7, which is a 17 also.
Excellent. And the fish. The fish rolled a 5, which is not going to be enough. That's a 10 total. And that dispatches the third barracuda. So, it says we get 4 gold pieces. We find 4 gold pieces amid the litter on the floor. That's useful.
Yeah, I approve.
So we'll have some gold pieces. And then it says we can swim out of one of the windows and explore elsewhere, or go back down and explore the tunnel. That was the down option from below. Which do you fancy?
I don't mind. What do you reckon? I mean, a window could be a door, but then so could a tunnel, if I'm honest.
True. It offered
What do you do when you're
It offered us the explore elsewhere from the ground floor as well, so clearly that's where we're going eventually. How about we do the tunnel first and see what's there?
Okay.
If this turns out to be a terrible idea,
we blame Luke.
We'll blame Luke. Yes, 233. 233. It
Wonderful.
is. Two, three, three. You swim down the dark tunnel. About 4 meters below the level of the seafloor, it joins a hallway. If you go to the right, well, we can go right or left, basically. Any preferences?
No, not at this point. Don't have much else to go on. Right.
Right. Okay, we'll try right. That's 245. You pick your way through clinging, slimy seaweed. A dim light comes from some of the ocean plants, so you can see a little way ahead. The tunnel walls change to jagged rock as you go on, and the tunnel seems to slant slightly downward. Just as you're thinking it will go on forever, you come to a heavy wooden door. You pull it open and swim through. You've emerged from the face of a cliff. The door swings closed behind you. You panic for a second until you realise you can't fall. Hanging suspended in the clear water, you look about you. Turn to 53. Okay.
It's not what I thought was going to happen.
Not what I thought was going to happen.
This is going to be interesting. Say 53, sorry, Ben.
Yes, 53.
Wonderful. Oh, and we found a door, which is good. You know, no bad things can happen. Yeah.
Okay, below you and to one side are more buildings. Evidently the city of Atlantis was very extensive. In front of you is the face of the cliff from which you emerged, a pockmarked with tiny caverns and festooned with corals, sea anemones and plants. You can examine the cliff face more closely, or swim up towards the top of the cliff, or swim out over the city. I guess before we go anywhere, we could always examine the cliff face, but I don't know. Again, I don't know where we might find black pearls. I don't know exactly where they're likely to be.
Yeah. Let's give it a go.
Okay. We will examine the cliff face more closely. Turn to 320. This could be terrible. Lots of things lurk in little holes in cliffs. 320. 320. You search the face of the cliff for more secret doors, like the one from which you emerged. You find no doors, but you do see a cavern big enough to admit you. You swim closer and draw back from the snapping jaws of a huge moray eel. If you enter the cave and attack with your sword, or flee. Basically, we can enter and attack or flee. I'm not frightened of fighting the moray eel necessarily. There's only one of it, I think.
Mm.
Um,
I'm more frightened of the naturally occurring door.
yeah, me too. What do you reckon? Do we fight or do we run?
I think we run.
We run.
We could fight. It might be protecting a black pearl. You never know.
It could be. And we do need some of those, because otherwise, if we get to the end of this book and it turns out we haven't got enough pearls, then that's going to be disappointing. So far, every actual encounter we've had, we've ended up with something. A lucky charm or some cash.
Yeah, that's
if that
true.
continues, then it could well be worth fighting anything we come across in the hope that there's something there.
Well, should we fight this one to test the
hypothesis?
Test the hypothesis.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah. Okay, we will enter the cave and attack with the sword. Turn to 98. You think you can handle a single ugly eel. You slash at it with your sword and it responds by striking at you with needle-like fangs. Okay, we fight it. We're not allowed to escape from this one. The confines are too close. But
yeah,
we fight it together. It is skill 7, stamina 12.
Okay. I thought this was going to be one of those. And you do. And then 300 other eels surround you and kill you instantly.
Well, that may happen after we kill the eel. You never know. But for now, skill 7, stamina 12.
Right. Let's make those rolls.
Let's have some goes.
That is a 7 on my dice, so 17.
An 8 for me, so 15. Oh, hang on a minute, sorry, 19. And its roll, therefore, is going to need to be good. And it rolled an 11. That's not bad, actually. That's 16 for it. Is that the same as you rolled? Or did you go to 17?
I got a 17.
Excellent. Then it's knocked down 4 stamina. Good. Right, round 2. I rolled a mere 4. That's a 15 for me.
Mine is a 9 for a 19.
Excellent. It rolled an 11 for 18. So it matters which of us it went for. Odds or evens,
yeah.
Ewan?
I'll take odds, please, then.
It went for me on a 4. So that means it costs me 2 stamina. However, it loses 2 as well from you. Okay.
Wonderful. Next round.
Next round. I rolled a mere 5. My rolls are terrible at the moment.
Mine's a 7 for 17.
Okay, I have a total of a 16. And it rolled an 8 for a total of 15. So it's still lost both of them despite my awful roll. So it is now down to just 2 stamina left.
Luke will be happy.
Yes. This time I rolled a 10 for a 21.
Mine is a 9 for a 19.
Well, in that case, we don't have to roll for it because it's definitely dead. And even if it picked you as its target, it could only
Mm,
equal your score. So the moray eel
that is true.
is done for. Okay, if you kill the eel, turn to 131. Never in doubt.
No.
The eel thrashes and dies. You drag it out of the cave and watch it tumble slowly down through the water, twisting in the current. Returning to the cave, you search it and find a single gold piece. Okay. That's good.
Yeah. Not what I was, not what we're looking for overall, but it's
No.
not bad. I feel that's a good.
It's certainly worth having.
More
I mean,
gold is good. Yeah.
maybe later in the game there's a point where you can buy black pearls if you have enough gold pieces. Who knows?
That's true. That's true.
Um, so, turn to 64, it says. You swim down over the city. As you get closer, most of the buildings seem in rather poor repair, but several things seem worthy of closer attention. Will you investigate? A huge palace with striped domes, a large sunken galleon lying on its side, or an area that looks like an underwater garden?
Hmm.
Palace, galleon, or garden?
I would say the only one that's gonna definitely have naturally occurring doors and probably not have any other regular doors is a garden,
Agreed.
which makes me a little bit weary
All
of
right.
the garden. Plus, also gardeners might be there,
There might be gardeners. Yes, that's true.
which could end poorly.
So palace or galleon then? Both of them both of them will probably have doors or at least doorways.
Hmm.
I suppose the palace is more likely to have sufficiently sturdy doors that they would still actually be doors as well as doorways.
Yes, true. Presumably the palace, or maybe it did sink at one point, but the
Yeah.
ship definitely sunk.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe.
What do you fancy? Palace or galleon?
I don't mind. Should we go palace?
Let's try palace. Why not?
That was your.
Palace.
Yeah.
103. Huge palace with striped domes. 103.
Oh, I should have chose the ship. It might have been easier to represent on a map.
You swim down towards the palace. It is the largest building you've seen in Atlantis. Indeed, it's one of the largest buildings you've ever seen anywhere. It's also in a good state of repair. As you swim closer, you see the reason. The palace is inhabited. Two human-looking guards dressed in colourful uniforms are patrolling the huge main entrance. So we can swim quickly down and attack them, swim slowly down and hail them, or try to enter one of the towers. I mean, I'm tempted to say we always talk before we fight, don't we?
Yeah, why not? Some strong options there.
Let's try it.
But yeah.
We will swim and hail them. Turn to 35. As you approach, you see that these are not true humans, but deep ones. Their skin is green and warty, their eyes huge and frog-like. They have gills, webbed fingers, and huge claws. They wear jewelled armour. They tell you that King Semos is always interested in curiosities like yourself and conduct you inside. Within the great council hall, richly dressed courtiers meet you and conduct you to the throne, on which the fat Fish King sits. His eyes bulge and he wheezes when he speaks, but his questions are keen. Will we tell our story and ask for help, offer him the jade crown, or ask if you can do him a service? Well, we do not have the jade crown, so that's going to be a non-starter.
I mean, we could offer it to him, but then we wouldn't be able to follow through, and that just seems a bit rude.
It does seem a bit rude, yes. So, we could offer to do him a service, and then maybe ask for help afterwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
All right. Let's try offering him a service. We don't know what it is yet, of course, but we will turn to 4 accordingly. The king's eyes open even wider. Yes, since you ask, there is a great service you can do for our kingdom. In an upper room of our palace lies a fair princess, doomed to sleep until she be kissed by a hero. None of our nobles has been able to lift the spell. Will you try? And we can agree to try or decline the honour. I'm slightly worried about what a giant overweight fish frog king might think is a fair princess. What do you reckon? I feel that declining the honour would probably end badly at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've offered. I think we should at least give it a go.
Okay, we'll try. We will try to wake the princess. Okay. Turn to 399.
Given up on sort of trying to make any sense of this map at this point, and I'm just drawing random stuff and writing numbers next to it.
You seem to be drawing a little bit off the screen. Are you drawing... Can you scroll a little bit and see if you can get your drawing onto the bit that we're showing? Does that make any sense? Because I can't actually see the drawing.
Oh, really? Maybe if it was on the middle of my screen that I was showing. Let me stop sharing and erase share. Is that going to cause a problem? Or
No,
that...
it'll jump us about a bit, but that's fine.
I like.
We'll jump back once things go. We'll just get a very huge Ewan for a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Yes, that's perfect.
Good. Much better than the huge Ewan. That's what we like. Right, sorry, apologies. Princess spell.
You agree to kiss the princess. With great pomp and ceremony, the fishy courtiers escort you upstairs. On a soft bed of moss lies the princess, asleep. Her eyes are like pearls, her skin like jade, her fingers like trailing seaweed. She is very beautiful to the deep ones, which means that you find her exceptionally hideous. The courtiers crowd around expectantly. If you kiss her anyway, or we can refuse. I mean, it's only a kiss. Right?
Yeah.
Let's give it a shot. I'm actually curious to find out what happens, to be honest. We'll go ahead and kiss her. Turn to 60.
Yeah.
However, this has now offered us 2 separate opportunities to balk at this.
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know, if your GM gives you 2 chances to back out of something, you normally think, no, shouldn't. Oh, what the hell? I've got to find out what happens when we kiss her.
Yeah. What a way to go. Be a good story.
It would. Okay. You gather your courage and kiss the fishy princess. It works. Her eyes open. She looks at her rescuer and screams with terror at your human face. When she realizes what has happened, however, she apologizes. To show her gratitude, she takes a ring from her own hand and gives it to you. It is magical, she tells you, and has great virtue against poisons. You thank her and take your leave of the admiring deep ones. Okay. So we got a magic ring. That's good.
It is good. Like it.
Okay. We take our leave of the deep ones, turn to 347. You leave the palace of the deep ones. To your right is the great sunken ship you saw earlier. To your left is an entrance to the sunken gardens. We've got to pick one or the other.
It's a tough call.
Ship still?
Yeah, I would say ship.
Ship. Okay. You investigate the ship, turn to 282. You approach the sunken ship. The masts are still tall and straight, and a few rags of sail are still waving in the current. But a great hole has been torn in one side. You can see movement inside. Something indistinct but large is making its home there. We can investigate or go elsewhere.
Sounds ominous.
It does.
If I'm honest, man. But I'm not saying no.
I love your fish with a crown on it. I think that's fabulous.
Thanks.
To be fair, we're handling combat reasonably well. I'm not too worried about actual combat.
That's true.
It's just if you turn to something and it says, "Ah, yes, you stepped on a landmine and died." That's less encouraging.
Yeah. It's the one shot kills. Plus, a hole is a door.
It is, yes, undeniably a door. Let's step inside and see what happens. We will investigate and turn to 24.
Perfect.
You enter the sunken ship. In the sudden dimness, you can barely see where you're going. You grab the side of a door and try to feel your way. Test your luck. Okay, is this the moment to use the luck charm that guarantees we pass? Because I'm tempted to say we might as well use it at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
How lucky are you?
8.
Yeah, I've got 9. The problem is that neither of us are sufficiently lucky that when it comes to the critical moment, we can guarantee a roll. So maybe it's too early to use the one guaranteed roll we've got.
Yeah, I would hold off, I think. But I can see reason for using it, so I wouldn't mind if you want to.
No,
because it is one of those ominous moments where
I think we have to test our luck properly this time, because we might need to test our luck when we know everything's at stake. So
yeah,
we will test our luck.
How do we do these again? Is this both of us? Or...
Roll 2 dice.
Yeah.
And we'll see how we do each. It's 2d6, and then if you are less than or equal to your luck, you succeed.
Perfect. Good. Oh, I am not. I got a 10.
And nor am I. I rolled a perfect 12.
Ooh.
So we both lose a luck point.
Yeah.
And we are unlucky. So let's turn to 1, 2, 3.
It's a big pause, Ben.
An enormous clam snaps shut on your leg. Lose a stamina point. Oh, God. This is going badly already.
It's not too bad.
But the clam is only part of the problem. A huge sea spider from its vantage point in the shadows on the ceiling observes your predicament and attacks you. You cannot escape. Furthermore, the clam on your foot reduces your attack strength by 2 for as long as it is holding you. You can take a turn to run your sword between the clam's shells and free yourself, but the sea spider will automatically hit you once if you do.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm going to fight the sea spider without trying to free myself. My skill is 11. I think the odds favour me anyway. The sea spider is a mere skill 7.
Is this one we can choose differently on?
I
You
don't
don't
see
need
why
to turn
not.
away. Okay.
Yeah.
I will spend a turn freeing myself from the clam.
All right. Then in that case, you will take 1 automatic hit for 2 stamina.
Yeah.
But you will free yourself and not have any failure going forward, or not any penalty going forward. I'm going to be fighting with skill 9, but I will take a round and see if it... Oh, that's a total of 12 for me. That's not good. And 5... Oh, exactly the same for it. So the sea spider didn't actually achieve anything with its
Oh, I'm not
its
on this
moment.
one, am I?
Great. Okay, cool. So round 1 proper. The sea spider has 10 stamina, so it may take us a while to reduce this. Roll your attack. 8 gives me a total of 17.
I got a 5 for a 15.
And the sea spider rolled a 5 for a 12, so it's already lost 4 stamina. This is a good start.
That's not too bad.
And I rolled a 6 for 15.
Mine's much better. That's an 11 for 21.
Fabulous. And it rolled a 3 for a total of 10. So it is now down to a mere 2 stamina left. And I rolled a 10 for a total of 19.
Nice. Mine is an 8 for an 18.
Okay. And yes, absolutely nowhere. It got a 12. So between us, we finished it off quite smartly. Immediately after which, of course, I will carefully stick my sword into the clam and free myself as well.
Yeah.
If you kill the sea spider, turn to 268. You pull your sword from the body of the sea spider. If you've not already done so, you take a second to slice the giant clam open and free your foot. Within the opened clam, you see a large silver pearl. You take it and move on. A silver pearl. We didn't know about silver pearls.
Yeah, that's not what we were told. What's all this?
Yes. Okay.
Interesting.
So we can visit the captain's cabin, the treasure hold, or head away from the ship towards the gardens. I can't shake the feeling that they really want us to visit those gardens.
I mean, I feel like we should, if we're gonna explore the ship, we should at least visit. Well, I mean, ideally, both the captain's cabins and the treasure hold sound like useful things.
I never know, of course, if it will allow us to do both or just one.
Yeah.
So if it only allows us one, which would you rather visit?
Captain's cabin?
Sure, why not? I don't have any strong reason to go for one or the other. Let's do the captain's cabin. That's number 40. You make your way forward to the captain's cabin. In a water-soaked desk you find the ship's papers. Most of them are totally ruined, but one set of charts was waterproof. You study them, and your seafaring experience quickly lets you identify your approximate position. To your surprise, several islands are shown nearby, where you had not known any existed. They are marked with names like Tarfeather Island, Gorblimey Rocks, Fish Island, Kestrel Island, and a Skull and Crossbones. You find nothing else in the cabin. The maps are too big to carry, so you have to leave them behind. Now you can visit the treasure hold if you haven't already done so, or you can leave. Treasure hold it is then.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Excellent. 192 for the treasure hold. You swim aft and downward to the treasure hold. It is totally empty. The walls are torn apart, and the damage does not seem to have been done by coral reefs, but rather by gigantic claws. From her lines you are sure this was a treasure ship, but though you search carefully you find nothing but a single gold piece wedged between two timbers. Okay, a gold piece. Excellent.
No, be worse.
Could be. We can leave, or we can check the captain's cabin. So leave is it, I'm afraid.
Yep.
Which is 222. Not far from the ship, you see an entrance to the underwater gardens. You swim towards it, turn to 2. Okay, it was definitely determined to take us to the gardens.
Yes, indeed.
The underwater gardens seem to be laid out just like a formal garden on land. You swim through the heavy iron gate. Ah, there is a door. Noting that it's not at all rusty. Inside the gate you see many beautiful specimens of seaweed, coral and water plants. Instead of birds, the trees are filled with coloured fish. It is eerie but peaceful. A few yards from the gate the path splits in 2, and we can go left or right. We went right last time, didn't we? So shall we keep doing that? Or do something different?
Yeah.
Keep going right?
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
We will go to the right. Turn to 174.
174.
As you go along the path, the small coral and plants are replaced by taller seaweed. Gradually the garden becomes a forest. From ahead of you comes a sound like a bubbling roar. You stop and listen. A minute later the sound is repeated, from closer by. We can flee in the other direction or go forward to see what made the noise. Bubbling roar? I don't really know what that could be.
No. There's only one way to find out then.
Okay, we will go forward to see what made the noise.
Plus, I've got a minute left on the clock on Luke's before midnight, so this could be it.
This could be it. We will go forward to see what made the noise. Turn to 38. You see a golden yellow shape ahead, a large fish of some kind. It opens its mouth and again you hear the bubbling roar. You draw your sword as it comes closer. Then it sees you. Fins around its neck stand up in a great mane. It yawns, showing sharp teeth, and swims towards you. It is a lionfish. We can fight it with the sword, flee back down the path, or swim to the top of one of the seaweed trees. Now, first of all, clearly they don't know what a lionfish is, but leave that aside for the moment. Swimming to the top of one of the seaweed trees doesn't seem to make any sense to me, because it's not like lionfish can't climb trees
Can't
because
swim.
lions can't climb trees.
Yes, precisely.
It
Or
can
just
swim up there too.
to the top of the. Yeah. I completely agree.
So, do we fight it or flee?
Mm. Well, as you say, combat has gone reasonably well so far.
It has. Yeah, okay, let's fight it. Turn to 73.
You didn't sound convinced then, but
Well, I don't know what its
thanks.
stats are going to be.
No, that's true. That is true.
You swing your sword at the lionfish and it hisses with dismay. Okay. It is skill 9, stamina 12. And we have to fight it. Okay.
They're definitely kicking up a level each time.
Yeah, this is getting a bit tougher. So, I'm going to roll an attack.
Yep.
I rolled a mighty 3.
I rolled a 4
Oh, God.
for a 14.
To be fair, though, it rolled a 3 as well.
Ah,
So, we've actually
like.
both landed hits on it. That was a good start.
Ooh.
Okay. That's a better roll. A 4 for me this time.
Mine is an 8 for an 18.
And it has rolled a 9 for an 18. So it matters which of us it went for.
Yes, indeed.
It went for me. So... Okay. It still has 8 stamina left, which doesn't sound too terrible until you realise that I have 9 stamina left.
Yeah, I was just thinking it might be time for some provisions after this.
It might be. Okay, so next round.
And that's 11 for me, so a 21.
I rolled an 11 as well, so that's a 22 for me.
Oof.
We don't need to worry about what the lionfish rolled there, I'm afraid, unless it gets a 12 and goes for you.
Yeah.
And it got a 6. So that has significantly hurt the lionfish. It's down to stamina 4. Next round.
Next round.
I got a 10.
That's a 9. Sorry.
That's right. I got a 10, so that's 21.
Mine's 19 total.
And our lionfish rolled a 6 for a total of 15, and it is dead. Before we do anything else, I am indeed going to take an provision.
Yes, I will do the same. I will eat one provision.
That gets me up to 13, which is close to my max.
Nice. Yeah, I hit 17, which is, again, close.
Excellent stuff. Right. If we kill it, which we did, we turn to 102. Having slain the lionfish, you continue in the direction from which it came. The seaweed forest becomes darker, then abruptly it falls away into a neatly kept clearing. Within the clearing is a very ordinary looking cottage, surrounded by a great iridescent bubble. Inside the bubble you can see everyday land-dwelling shrubs and even a cat. You swim closer and peer through the bubble into a window of the cottage. Inside you can see an old man sitting at a desk. Suddenly he becomes aware of you and looks up. Meeting your eye, he waves you towards the front of the cottage. His attitude is brisk and no nonsense. We can swim back into the cover of the gardens, or we can go to the front and meet the old man.
But he seems nice enough.
And cottages have doors.
That is very true, Ben. That is very true. Let's go.
Okay, let's give him a shot. If you go to the front and meet the old man, turn to 135. The door opens and the old man strides out. He introduces himself as Greylock and invites you in. Cautiously, you step through the protective bubble, feeling your skin tingle. Once inside, you find you are breathing air. He chuckles at your surprise. Ah, you are no wizard then. You tell him about the pentagram that bestowed the gills on you, and he nods. A powerful spell. Don't worry, my home here is under a different enchantment which will not interfere with your protection. You may have heard the name Greylock before. If you possess something bearing that name, turn 14. If not, 225. We do not know the name Greylock. So we have to turn to 225.
I'd completely forgotten about the breathing of air, though.
So had I.
I'm glad we dodged that one.
Old Greylock is full of questions, and you are not entirely sure you trust him. He's displaying a very keen interest in your doings and in the things you found during your sojourn in Atlantis. Suddenly, from a pocket of his long robe, he produces a wand. We can attack him before he can use it, or wait and see what he does. I mean, it's past midnight. Luke's clearly lost his bet.
Yeah, well, that's true. Do you just want to wait and see? Is that what you're...
I suppose I'm curious
You're
as to what he's going to
suggesting.
do, and naturally I don't want to attack things we don't have to attack.
Yes, yeah. That seems harsh. Yeah, I agree.
Let's give it a shot. It could turn out to be a terrible thing. We will wait and see what he does. Turn to 376. He sketches a frame in the air around you and studies you as though you were a picture in a gallery, muttering to himself, "Bravery alone will do you no good. Cunning will bring victory. Bravery and cunning together will make you fortune." He studies you further. "Have you any black pearls?" he asks. We can answer yes or no. It doesn't actually say, "Do you have any?" Yes or no. It says, "What do you answer?" So I'm guessing we could lie to him.
Mm.
But I don't really know what that would buy us, to be honest.
No, yeah. I don't see the advantage of doing so at this point.
So let's say no. We will turn to 67.
Yeah.
"Unfortunate," says Greylock. "They contain powerful magic which might have made your quest easier. But if you've found none yet, I doubt you will locate enough to do the job before nightfall. Still, there are other ways. I would advise you not to confront your foes directly, but if you cannot go to them, you can bring them down to you." You press for an explanation. "There is more than one way to skin a cat, or a pirate," replies Greylock obscurely. "But if you don't have the tools for the job, you can talk to the Sea Dragon. He is treacherous and greedy, but he can help you, if he wants to." He changes the subject abruptly. "What about silver pearls? Have you any of those?" And we can answer yes or no again. Now, we do have a silver pearl.
We do indeed.
Are we going to be... I suppose he hasn't given us any reason to be dishonest, and he just gave us a useful bit of information.
Yeah. He seems quite helpful.
All right, let's say yes then. What about silver pearls? Have you any of those? If your answer is yes, turn to 241. I'm glad we weren't lying to him, because it immediately says, "You display the silver pearl that you found." "Good," he says. "The magic of that pearl cannot be used by you, but it will be very valuable to me. I will give you a choice of 3 potions in exchange. Never fear, you can drink them underwater. You gladly accept. We can have a healing potion, a fortune potion, or a potion of vaporous essence.
Mm.
I'm tempted to say we don't need a healing potion. We've got plenty of provisions and we can top ourselves up as we go. A potion of fortune restores luck back to its level, but we do have a lucky charm. I have no idea what vaporous essence does.
You want to take it on the off chance? Or were you thinking not?
I
Because you have no idea
suppose
what it
I'm
does.
thinking it's got to be it's got to be tried, because I mean I don't know what it does. It's the first time I think I've ever encountered one of those in any of these books.
Let's do it.
Vaporous essence. We turn to 318. Greylock takes the pearl from you and brings out a small phial of ruby-coloured liquid. This is the potion of vaporous essence, he tells you. It's very rare and valuable. Use it only in a time of great need. When you drink it, your body as well as your clothing and possessions will turn into a thin mist that can float through the smallest crack. After a few minutes, you become solid again. That could be very handy. Okay, let's... I'm quite pleased about that, to be honest. Vaporous essence. Good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hopefully it will open up an area that we wouldn't have been able to get to otherwise.
Possibly a door.
Possibly a door.
Okay, we turn to 154. Well then, says the old wizard, that's about all I can do for you. And you have to hurry, you know. You consider Greylock's advice. If you think you want to find the sea dragon, turn to 114, and if you'd rather not meet the sea dragon, turn to 261. To be honest, I like this guy's advice. He's been good to us, and he said, go to the sea dragon.
He did. Okay then. Sea dragon it is.
Sea dragon it is. We want to find the sea dragon, turn to 114. You tell Greylock that you want to find the sea dragon. Very well, he replies. Good fortune to you. He escorts you back to the front door of the cottage. When it opens, you see not the gardens, but a weed-lined tunnel. A glistening film holds back the water that fills the tunnel. You lower yourself through, feeling a tingling sensation as you cross the magical barrier. The door closes behind you. Turn to 385. Okay. The tunnel enters a large cavern. The walls have been cut and faceted to bring out the beauty of the rock. Little niches contain glittering crystals, attractive plants or anemones, and other undersea curiosities. You swim along admiring the exhibits, then you see a merman swimming towards you, barbed trident at the ready. If you draw your sword and attack him, turn to 69. If you talk to him, turn to 190. So, are we going to follow our usual plan and not attack anyone unless they're attacking us?
Yeah, talk to them first,
Talk
or
to him.
not attack them first, and see what
If the
happens.
conversation doesn't go well, we can always stab him to death.
Yeah, precisely.
We will talk to him, turning to 190. The merman challenges you to explain your intrusion. You respond politely, saying that you're looking for a way out. He becomes affable and says, "Just so long as you aren't one of the deep ones. We're at war with them." He escorts you through the cavern, which proves to be spacious and full of mermen and mermaids. "You must let us show you some hospitality," he says. "Our sauna baths will make a new person of you. Or you could try your luck in our games room." We can try the sauna baths or the games room.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know, obviously, but an underwater sauna sounds like a weird thing.
That is very true. That is very true. Yeah, let's go. Let's give it a go.
Okay. We will try the sauna baths. We turn to 266. The sauna baths are luxurious indeed. After a few minutes of relaxation, you feel much better, but somewhat strange. As you leave, you catch sight of yourself in the mirror. The merman was not exaggerating. The baths did make a new person of you. Okay. Turn to the beginning of this book and re-roll your stamina, skill, and luck. Change all of your current scores to these new initial scores. Right. Yes, Rook, this is Demons of the Deep. It's one of the classic fighting fantasy books. This one by Steve Jackson. And apparently we're kind of kicking off again with completely new stats. Okay, we have to re-roll skill, stamina, and luck.
Right, skill is 1d6, right? Plus
1d6
6.
plus 6, yep.
Oh, that's much worse than before. That's an 8 total for me instead of the 10 that I'm currently at. Thanks, sauna.
That's a 9 for me. Then 2d6 plus 12 for stamina.
Yeah.
That's 22. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, 10, 22.
Mine is a 7 plus 12 for a 19.
And then
So
luck
17, that one.
is a
My
1.
luck is 1d6,
so
right?
7. Yeah, 1d6 plus 6. So that's a total of 7.
Me too.
Which means... And now we have to take away 4 points. Well, this time there's no doubt where they're coming from.
Oh, I forgot about that.
They're all coming from stamina for me.
Yeah, I think me too.
Okay, that gives me... Whereas I started with 11 skill, I now have 9. I started with 14 stamina, that's up to 18. And I started with 9 luck, that's down to 7.
Yeah, this is the worst sauna ever. I started with 10 skill, I've now got 8. Before this sauna, I had 17 stamina, now I've got 15. And my luck is the same at 7. Not impressed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Overall, other than a slight improvement in stamina, which was the one that we already had all the potions we possibly needed to fix, everything else has got much worse for me.
And these are our new totals, aren't they? So it's not like we can...
These are our actual numbers, yeah.
Take some more provisions and get our stamina back.
You decide to leave the friendly mermen before something even stranger happens. Turn to 138.
At least we're not starting back at the beginning of the book as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The mermen enjoyed your visit, and they crowd around you to wish you good luck. Knowing of your quest, they offer advice. If you feel very brave and lucky, they tell you, you should visit the Sea Dragon, but he is dangerous. If you need information to help you find your path, you should visit the Sunken Cathedral. And if you need good fortune, well, you should seek out the Water Sprite, but beware of hungry crabs. They will point out the path towards any of these three. I'm pretty sure we've already visited the Sunken Cathedral, haven't we?
Yes, I believe so.
That was where we met the mermaid at the beginning.
Yeah.
And as for good fortune, they say seek out the Water Sprite, but we've got the Lucky Charm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Sea Dragon is the way to go.
Dragon. I mean, I would have preferred to have done it before the sauna. If I'm
Same
honest.
here. Because I'm not feeling quite as fortunate or quite as brave. But hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yes, this one's from 1986, so this is a real classic. But we're not doing very well at it just because it was old. Sea Dragon it is. We're going to turn to 62 and find out if we are immediately dead. 62 it is. The cave opening in the cliff is easily twice your height and broad in proportion. On the rocks around the opening you can see huge scratches like the marks of enormous claws. You feel dwarfed as you swim slowly inside. The interior of the cavern is dimly lit, but brightens as you continue. Rounding a bend, you confront a huge sea dragon curled up on a gleaming pile of treasure. It fixes you with an eye as big as a cannonball. We can flee, or attack, or tell it the story of our adventure.
I mean, we not attacked anything, have we? Not off the bat, as of yet. It's kind of our way.
We want what it's got, don't we? And we don't want to fight it unless we have to. So I guess we'll tell it the story. Turn to 7. Sort of any moment I'm expecting this to be the last possible move we make.
It could happen.
You doubt that you could flee from the creature, and you're certainly not anxious to fight it. Your only hope is to talk to it. What will you appeal to it? What will you appeal to in your speech? Its goodwill, its greed, or its hatred of pirates? Well, we don't know if it has any goodwill or hatred of pirates. We know it's greedy, though, because it's wrapped around a whole load of treasure, isn't it?
Yes.
The only thing that
go.
worries me is if we appeal to its greed, won't it then ask for us to give it something?
Possibly.
I suppose we've got some gold.
We do have some gold, that is true.
Let's try to appeal to its greed. What the hell? 178. I'm on the track of a pirate ship, you say. If you can help me destroy it, you can have all the treasure for yourself. All I want to do is finish off the pirates. Its eyes gleam and it runs a possessive claw through its golden hoard. Agreed, it rumbles, but I cannot follow you around like a nursemaid, human. If you find your pirate ship, just clink 2 gold coins together 3 times, and then 3 times again, and I will hear it and come. If you have 2 gold pieces to clink together, turn to 107. If not, turn to 391. We do, in fact, have 2 gold pieces. In fact, we have 6.
Which is handy.
So we can turn to 107. You thank the dragon very respectfully. Seeing light towards the back of the cavern, you swim in that direction out of a narrow tunnel and up towards the light. turn to 202.
Good job, Ben. We've got a dragon on our side.
This is going
I feel-
brilliantly.
I feel good. I feel good about this one.
I'm starting to think we could do this, you know. You
Yeah.
emerge from underground in the middle of a green meadow of soft seaweed. The water tastes clean and fresh here, like mountain air. In the distance you can see the grey spires of the sunken cathedral you were told about. Closer by you see a magnificent seahorse grazing on the meadow. We can go towards the cathedral, attack the seahorse, or pick some seaweed and approach the seahorse. Well,
I was going to say, it's weird that it gives us an attack option, but nothing else. But I think we're all right. What are you thinking?
Well,
Are we thinking this is a different cathedral?
I am beginning to wonder if it's a different cathedral. And even if it isn't, when we went down in the original cathedral, we went right instead of left, didn't we? So there may be something worth seeing there anyway.
Left. Yeah.
But the picking seaweed and approaching the seahorse looks like a friendly, communal thing to do.
Do you want to do that?
I'm tempted to say, let's see if we can ride the seahorse to the cathedral.
Yeah.
Worth a try, right?
Yeah, definitely. Let's
pick some seaweed
pick
and
some
approach the
seaweed.
seahorse. 166. You pick some greens and approach the seahorse, talking to it gently. It looks nervous, but eventually settles down and eats from your hand. What will you do now? We can go on our way, attack it, or try and jump on it and ride. It's like it read my mind.
That's the one.
Jump
That's
on it
the one
and
we want,
ride.
Ben.
Let's give it a shot. This is 108. You jump on its back, throw your arms around its neck, and try to hang on. The seahorse bolts. Oh, dear. Test your luck. If you're
Test
lucky,
your
you
luck.
stay on. If you're unlucky, you're thrown off. This is not good. We have to test our luck. 2d6, less than or equal.
Yeah. Less than or equal to 7.
I rolled a 6, so I succeeded. But
I did not.
You did not. Okay. My luck is now 6. Let's find out, odds or evens again, which one of our luck is the one. That's a 2. It's my luck that counts. So, on that basis, we do in fact stay on. It costs us both a luck point, which means my luck is now 6.
Yes, which is not ideal.
Not great.
The same as mine.
If you're lucky, you stay on. Turn to 9. The seahorse swims madly in circles, bucking and tossing, but you keep your seat. Eventually it quietens, but still rolls its eyes. You pat its nose reassuringly. You find that you can guide it with your knees and that it swims much faster than you do. You direct it towards the cathedral in the distance. When you reach your goal, you dismount and the seahorse swims away. It says restore 2 luck points, but obviously that's only 1 in our case.
Yes.
Still,
not bad, though.
Still, that's helpful. Okay. Restore 2 luck points and turn to 269.
Mm-hmm.
You approach the sunken cathedral and circle it. It is a huge Gothic structure, complete with gargoyles on the roof. You swim through the front doors and into the great hall. Your attention is immediately caught by the vast stained glass windows lining the hall. They depict many sorts of scenes, some underwater, some on land, and some so odd that you cannot identify them. The curious thing about the windows is this. Although the scenes do not move, they change. Whenever you look away from a window, it's somehow different when you look back. As you look back and forth, you see a picture of yourself in one window as you're being forced overboard from the pirate ship. A moment later, in another window, you see the same pirate ship being eaten from above, being eaten by a giant fish. No, as you look closer, you see the fish is an island, and the ship is anchored in a cove that forms the fish's mouth. What will you do now? Keep watching the miraculous windows, look around the cathedral, or leave the cathedral?
Uh,
Well, I think
but I
we've
don't
just
think
got
it's
an
the time
important
to
clue.
leave. Yeah,
That was a useful clue, wasn't it?
I think so. Do you want to continue to watch and see if there's any more, or do you want to explore, or do you want to leave?
I think we should keep watching for a bit, just in case it gives us another clue. Because we're
Yeah,
looking now for an island shaped like a fish, and then we can find the pirates to kill, and then lock our coins together and win the fight and save the day.
yeah, exactly. That's just what's going to happen.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
I
Let's
agree.
let's keep watching the windows. Turn to 37. As you watch, a school of beautiful angelfish swims into the hall. As if in response, the next window you look at depicts more angelfish. You laugh at the thought of angelfish in a cathedral and wonder where the devilfish is. Sure enough, the next window shows a huge devilfish, so realistic it appears to be swimming towards you. In fact, it is. What will you do? Attack it, ignore it, or flee? We sticking to this rule about we don't attack things unless we have to.
Well, I think it's definitely a character choice. I would
How
say so.
how about we
But
ignore it then and hope that it ignores us?
hmm,
Because ignoring
yeah,
it is not an option we've had a lot.
yeah, that sounds good to me.
Alright, we'll give it a shot. We will ignore it. Turn to 80. This could be the end of our game, of course, but there you go.
I mean, if the angelfish aren't panicking, then I think we'll be okay.
It is no illusion, and it is certainly not friendly. It dashes you with
Oh,
its barbed tail. Lose 2 stamina points and fight. Okay, so it costs us
oh.
2 stamina. Great. And we turn to 294 and fight. The devilfish attacks by lashing with its long barbed tail. It does offer us the chance to try to escape if we want, but I'm still not that nervous about fighting. This is skill
Hmm.
8, stamina 13. I have to point out
Oh, would you?
I'm not as confident about combat now I'm skill 9, stamina 16.
Well, I am quite equally matched with my skill of 8 and my stamina of 13 to
Excellent. At
this
least there are 2 of
devilfish.
us.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
precisely.
let's go all in. It is
Let's
skill 8,
go.
stamina 13. So I'm going to attack.
Yeah.
I immediately
Oh,
rolled
that's
a
not
6,
good.
so that's a 15 total for me.
Minus a 3, which takes me to an 11.
It's got a 9, which is a 17. So it went after you this time. So that costs you 2 stamina.
Got it.
Okay,
Next
seconds
round.
away. Oh, that's better. I rolled a 9, total of 18.
Mine is better. It's a 5 for a 13 total.
And it has rolled a 9 for a total of 17. So it really matters which of us it's gone for here.
It does
It's
indeed.
gone for me, which means it's lost 2 stamina. It is now
Very
down to
good.
stamina 11. Okay, next round. That's an
We're getting
8 for
better.
me.
Mine's a 6. Slowly but surely. 6 for a 14 total.
And it's rolled a 3, so that's really hurt it. Knocked it down to 8 stamina left. Okay.
Very nice.
This is getting better.
No, it's not.
I rolled a 6, total of 15.
I changed my dice and got a 3 again. Back to where I started. So it's an 11.
Okay, it rolled a 4, that's a total of 12. And it went after you, I'm afraid. That's 2 stamina.
Not a problem.
And also 2 for it, so it's down to 6. That's 8 for me, 17.
Mine is a 7 for 15.
And that's an 11 for the devilfish. Total of 17. It went after me this time. So, this is going poorly.
Not as I was expecting.
Yeah.
Or indeed what we were used to with our much better
Before
skill.
we were mermen. Yes.
Yeah. That's a 5 for a 13 for me.
Same for me. A 5 gives me a 14. And that's a 2 for the devilfish. So it takes 4 more stamina hits. Okay, it is very much on its last legs.
Nice.
Okay. That's an 8 for me, 17.
Mine's a 6 for 14.
It's just rolled a 12.
Woo.
Okay. And it went after you this time. So you take 2 stamina damage.
Yeah.
Then I rolled an 8 for 17.
Mine is a 7 for 15.
And it rolled an 11 for 19.
Wow. Ben, you really need to stop rolling those 11s.
And it went after you again, I'm afraid. It's another 2 stamina.
Oh, no. Brutal.
Yes, crit. Permission granted. Oh, God.
It's alright, I'm on 5. Got
You're on 5.
Loads of scope left. Yeah.
Okay. I rolled
It's
an 8.
not a good roll, though.
Total of 17.
I got a 5 on the dice for 13.
Okay.
Definitely panic time, crit.
It rolled a 7 for a total of 15. So it matters again which one it went for.
Yeah.
It went for me, thankfully. So that moves it down to just 2 stamina left. Oh. Let's try and finish it off this time. That's a 6 for me of 15.
I got a mighty 4 for a 12.
Thankfully, it's done a 5.
It's not been a good combat.
So it's only done a 13. And it has gone for me, which means it is done.
Very nice.
You say that.
Yeah, it's all fine, Ben. We always had that one in the bag. Don't know what you were worried about.
There are many, many things I was worried about. I'm about to eat a provision.
Oh yeah, good idea. Good idea. That I might eat.
Which gets me back to full stamina. At least the full revised, much reduced stamina.
Yeah, I'm going to eat 2 provisions.
We have
Big
killed the
points.
devilfish. We turn to 235.
13.
The devilfish is dead. You swim around the interior of the building, seeing nothing unusual except the pictures. Before long, you see another picture of yourself. This time, you are fleeing from enormous tentacles. If you leave the building, turn to 390. If you'd rather stay and look at more pictures. I feel lesson learned here.
Hmm. Well, it's tricky, isn't it? I'm worried that if we leave the building, we're going to get attacked by giant tentacles. These windows of premonitions need to give us more information. Let's go.
Go? Alright.
Yeah,
We
snap
will
decision,
leave
I
the
think.
building and turn to 390.
You are right. Last time it ended poorly. Watching more visions.
You leave, swimming out over the great stone steps and into an area littered with huge boulders. In the distance, you can see a coral reef. Turn to 160. As you approach the coral reef, you see that it is a place of extraordinary beauty. Thousands of brightly coloured fish are flitting about between the branches of green and white coral. As you watch, bemused, you hear tinkling laughter. You turn and see a small creature watching you. The water sprite is human in appearance, but only about a metre tall, with greenish skin sprinkled with tiny golden scales. We can attack it, tell it our story, or offer it a gift.
Story or gift? We heard good things about Sprite, didn't we? Was the Sprite the luck? Something luck related? That what the wizard told us, or was that something else?
That is, I
It was
think,
a while ago.
it's a fair question. I think you're right. It was the sprite that would give us luck. And to be fair, we could now perhaps use some.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm at max though. To be so
the map art is staggering tonight, Luke. You're absolutely right.
it's been a really weird one. There's been some descriptions of passageways and left and rights, and then just other big sweeping. You go to the cathedral statements.
um, how about we try to tell it our story? Because I don't really want to
Yeah.
give up any of the gifts.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I didn't think about that. Yeah, good idea.
Let's try and tell it the story. 305. You tell about your search for the pirates who tried to kill you. It listens with sympathy. I cannot travel with you, it says, because my duty is to care for the fish around my reef. But you stopped to admire my fish and you spoke to me politely, so I will help you. We can ask for luck or ask for advice.
Hmm.
What do you fancy?
Uh, I think I would rather have the advice at the minute. But how's your luck doing?
My luck is solid. It's at its absolute peak and maximum of 7.
Yes, mine is the same.
Advice it is then. We will
Mm.
ask for advice and turn to 194. And we still have that lucky shell, don't we?
Yes, that's true.
We will ask for
Shall,
advice
shall.
194. It seats itself solemnly on the fine sand and begins to lecture you, emphasizing its points with a long forefinger. Black pearls are magical wealth and will bring you more wealth. If you have a goodly pouch of pearls now, to a best you confronted your foes quickly ere night falls. If you require more pearls, you may brave the Kraken's lair, but 'tis an undertaking most fell. With that, the water sprite vanishes. If you think you're ready to find and confront the pirates, turn to 382. If you're not yet ready, you can swim towards the coral formation that the sprite indicated was the Kraken's lair. Okay. Kraken's lair's likely those tentacles we saw in the window, isn't it?
Yeah. And we don't have any black pearls, which I'm a little bit surprised at. Seeing as we might have had enough. But we do have a dragon.
We do have a pocket dragon.
Could be useful instead in lieu of pearls, I believe.
Well, according to the way I heard what that wizard said, Greylock said, was basically if you don't have black pearls, use a dragon instead. So I guess the question is, do we trust that and just say we've got enough, none is enough, because we've got a dragon? Or do we say we've got to go and get some black pearls anyway because it's if we don't have enough, we can use the dragon, but not if we don't have any? I don't know. What do you think?
It's tricky. This could be it right here.
It could.
And it could be it either way. We could just die to a kraken. Or we could just die to the pirates because the dragon alone isn't enough.
Yeah.
It's a tough call.
And it does worry me a little bit when it says that you've got to move quickly before night falls. What if going to the Kraken's lair eats up all of our remaining time and we don't have time? Oh, God. I think we've got to try out the Kraken's lair and trust that we can beat it in combat, which normally I'd have said we can probably do, but I'm a bit less confident since our last combat encounter.
Yes. Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going to have a provision in that case. I'm not going to use up all 4, but
yeah,
it'll take me back to max, which feels useful.
I am at my max.
Doesn't mean I have
18,
6 left.
but I am at my max. And actually 18's not terrible.
No.
Okay.
Go on then.
Kraken's lair.
Do it.
Let's
Kraken's
do it.
Lair.
We will swim towards the Kraken's lair. Turn to 87. You swim towards the huge formation of coral. It seems to take the form of a wall surrounding 3 sides of a huge rock bowl. You enter through the open side and swim towards the inside of the wall. Then looking down, you see enormous eyes looking back up at you. 10 huge tentacles unfold and reach out. The creature below you is the legendary Kraken, a monster big enough to sink a ship. Its great beak opens and closes. We can swim down and fight the Kraken, try to hide in a niche in the coral wall, or turn around and make for open water.
Well, can't help but feel as though we've come this far.
We're going to have to try and fight it, aren't we? Yeah. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. Kind of makes sense, I think.
Yeah, let's go for it. 253. This is, hang on to your hats moment. 253. I'm hoping it actually gives us a chance rather than just saying, the thing kills you.
Yeah. That would be nice.
The Kraken makes every other monster you've ever seen look puny. Your only hope comes from the fact that it is not used to opponents as tiny as you. Okay. I don't believe in all of the games we've ever played we've ever seen numbers that look like these numbers.
Oh dear.
The Kraken has skill 10, which I think makes it the most skilled of all of us,
Yeah,
and
that
stamina
is
30.
definitely true. 30 is also quite mighty.
Okay, we're going to have to do it. Let's roll. It does give us the opportunity to try to escape, but I don't know. I can't help feeling that. Oh, do you want to try and escape instead? That's a fair point because it is so powerful.
Oh, but think if we conquered it, then
We would become legends.
yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, we're going in. And that's a terrible start. I rolled a 7.
Well, mine's
16.
not bad. Mine's 11 for 19.
And it's rolled an 8 for 18. So it really matters which of us it went for. Thankfully, it went for you. So it is 2 down. It now only has 28 stamina.
Yes.
First
Well,
blood.
1/15 of the way there.
Okay, that's not bad. That's a 10 for 19 for me.
Mine's a 9 for 17.
Oh, and that's a 2 for 12. So it is now down to 24. That's a 7 for me. 16.
Mine's a 9 again for 17. Gotta get rid of that yellow one there because it's not rolling very well.
It's rolled a 4 for 14. So that's another 4 down. It's down to 20.
I'm trying not to get too excited.
A third of its health has gone. That's a good start, you know. Then I've rolled a 7
Nice.
for 16.
Mine's a 10 for 18.
And
This
it's
is
rolled a
making up
7
for the
for
last
17.
terrible rolls in the last combat.
And delightfully, it's gone for you again, which means, though I didn't land a hit on it, you've knocked it down by 2. Fantastic.
What you like?
This is working
I
so
had a
far.
good feeling.
That's a 7/16 for me.
That's 12 for 20.
That's a 5 is a 15. Wow. It is down to 18, 16. No, 14. That is fantastic. Okay.
Right.
It now has less
Let's
stamina
go.
than me.
Mm,
I rolled
yeah,
a
me
5,
too.
however. 14.
Yeah. Mine's an 8 for 16.
And that's a 2
This
for
might-
12.
Oh,
It is down to 10 stamina. At this point, I think the odds definitely are beginning to favour us.
don't speak too soon, Ben.
That's a 7 for 16.
Mine is a 7 for 15.
And that's a 14. This is going suddenly really well. Okay.
I ditched those dice though because they're getting a bit cold. Biscuit.
It's down to 6 stamina left.
For an 8 for 16.
That's a 5 for me for a 14. And it's rolled a 4. That's tied me. So it's gone for me. but we tied. So you've knocked another 2 off it. It is down to 4 stamina.
Oh,
And I've rolled a 10.
mine is a 7 for a 15.
And I've got a 19. And it's got a 5 for a 15, which means it matters who it... Well, actually, it doesn't matter, does it? It just takes 2 damage. It is down to 2 stamina. That's an 8 for 17.
Mine's a 4 for a 12, unfortunately.
And it's just rolled an 18. That's off me. So I take 2 stamina hit. We've just got to land one more hit on it. That's an 8 for me, 17.
Oh no, I'm getting rid of these. That's a 2 for 10.
And that's a 10 for a 20. And that's gone for you, I'm afraid. That's 2 stamina off you.
That's okay. That's okay.
3 for me. Total of 12.
Oh, 6 for me for a 14.
And that's a 6 for it. Total of 16. And it's gone for me. So I'm down to 14 stamina.
Oh, I thought it was going too well.
That's a little bit better. I rolled a 10. That's 19.
Mine's an 8 for a 16.
And that's an 8 for an 18 for it. So whatever happens, it's done. But it went for me, so it's done without inflicting any more damage to us. The Kraken is defeated. And before I even turn to the next paragraph, I'm going to have a provision, please.
Yes, perfect.
Which restores me back up to my abbreviated maximum.
They said it couldn't be done, Ben.
They said it couldn't be done. We have killed the Kraken. We turn to 1, 2, 5. You've killed the monstrous Kraken. Restore 3 luck points. I can't. I'm already in max luck. This is one tale you would never tell in the taverns. Nobody would believe you. You investigate its lair. The Kraken had no treasure. It didn't care for gold. But inside the huge shellfish around its rocky hole, you find 3 black pearls. Ooh. 3 black pearls. Yes, please.
It's just what we were after. Expertly done.
So we've now got 3 black pearls and a dragon. That feels like a good arsenal to me.
Yeah.
Above you, the ocean is turning blood red with the rays of the sinking sun. You know you must leave soon. Turn to 382. The sun is setting and you know you are running out of time. If you possess an unmelting crystal of ice, turn to 303. If not, turn to 61. We do not have an unmelting crystal of ice.
No, I don't know whether this is going to be a bad thing.
This could turn out to be Kraken, where it all goes wrong. This
we
could
didn't
be where
make
we
it back
fail.
up in time.
We do not have one of those. We will turn to 61. Unfortunately, you do not have such an artifact. If you know the name of a helpful dolphin, turn to 288.
Oh, it's really trying to help us out here, isn't it?
We do not know the name of a helpful dolphin. We're going to have to turn to 145.
Nope.
Oh God, this is how it dies. 145.
Flipper is
We're
a
never
good
even going to
shout,
see the pirate
Rick and
ship,
Ross.
are we? Because we don't know any of the things. Turn to 145. Unfortunately, you have no way of finding for sure where the pirates have gone, and no way of getting there if you knew. The sun is at the horizon. If you swim for the surface, turn to 27. If you dive towards another sunken ship you see below you, turn to 369. I'm
The
pretty
spell runs out, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've got to return to the surface, haven't we?
I think so.
Oh no.
Think so.
I think we're doomed. We swim for the surface, turn to 27. Your head breaks the surface just as the last rays of sun touch the water. Your gills vanish, and once again you can breathe the sea air. You inhale deeply and kick to stay afloat. Not far away you see a plank. You swim over and catch hold of it. Oh well, you've been shipwrecked before and survived. Perhaps someday you'll have another chance to revenge yourself on the pirates. For now, your adventure is over.
Oh no.
Damn it, we had 3 black pearls and a dragon.
We had everything we needed,
Ah,
but we didn't know where they were. But we did know that they're like a fish-shaped island, didn't
yeah.
we?
We knew where we were going, but we didn't have any method of getting there, apparently. That was what we were lacking. Oh no. I mean, it's entirely possible that we'd missed like enormous chunks of stuff that I didn't know about, but that felt like we were really close to getting there.
Yeah, I thought we were going to do it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, me too. But we didn't know the
I
name of a
mean,
helpful dolphin, and we didn't have a block of unmelting
mm,
ice.
we didn't die, which
No,
is
we
good.
survived, but
Yeah,
failed.
and we defeated a kraken and made friends with the dragon.
We
And
recruited
found
a
some black
dragon to our
pearls.
cause and then defeated it. That was impressive, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feels like a win to me.
I mean, it won't
Though
go in the
it was,
book as
though
a
it
win.
wasn't. No, yeah. Though it definitely wasn't, but it felt like it. We did quite well, I think.
Well, I have to say, Mr. Jackson, that was a fun one. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Definitely. Gave some good options and some nice encounters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourites so far.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Excellent
And
stuff.
felt achievable, you know. There's obviously things that we need to other places we'd need to explore, but felt as though we know if we were replaying it, we know what we're looking for.
Yes.
We just need to find it.
I have no idea where to look because didn't we end up doing pretty much every option? Because even when we rejected one, we kind of went there later anyway.
Yeah, I think when we went down into the tunnel, there was a left that we could have taken when we went right. Similarly, just after the garden, or did we follow that?
Oh no, that's a good point. In the garden, we went right towards the cottage, but there was a left, wasn't there?
Yeah. But other than that, I think we took pretty much every option. Maybe right back at the beginning, when we were at the pentagram, there might have been.
Yes, maybe.
Was there another building?
And I have a vague feeling when we came out of that door built into the cliff wall, there was an option to go up rather than out over the city to begin with. So maybe.
Yeah, something there.
Yeah, maybe there was something. Well.
Yeah, but very good though. Good fun.
Yes.
Thanks, Ben.
It was excellent. I enjoyed that one. Your art has hit a completely new level at this point. That was astonishing.
Thanks. It's fairly representative of our story, I think.
Your Kraken looks like the angriest mutant slug I think I've ever seen.
Yes. Yeah. the scale, it could have done with being bigger, I think. I was worried about space on this limitless sheet that I had in front of me.
But your cottage with its air bubble around it is fantastic.
Thanks.
That is just mesmerisingly good. Yeah. Oh, well, fantastic that is. Thank you so much for joining us live or on VOD. Ewan and I will obviously be back next weekend. If you are interested in some, I'm going to get this wrong now, I think it's called Kingdom Come Deliverance. Luke has just finished the sort of prologue part of it. It's a new game for Luke, fairly new. I think session 3 is coming on Monday evening at 1:45 midnight UK time, which, just a quick reminder, will be 1:45 midnight BST, not GMT, because the clocks change in, well, an hour or two, don't they?
Yes, precisely. Or yeah, I lose track of when it actually happens because my computer does it at 1 o'clock. So we are now 5 minutes past 2. But I mean, who knows? Who really knows?
Exactly. It doesn't. It's one of those things where someone says, "What time do the clocks change?" And it's like, what do you mean? What time do they change? Before or after?
Yes. Yeah.
But yes. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, Ewan. That was enormous fun.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. Thank you, as always, for reading me a little bedtime story with some options.
I'm sorry we didn't make it. I feel this is close we got, and I think this is probably the closest we've ever got with a Steve Jackson one. If this is the British Steve Jackson, I think his tend to be a bit more unsurvivable.
Brutal, yeah, definitely.
And I think this may be the closest we've ever got with a British Steve Jackson one, if it is the British Steve Jackson one. So yes, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining us. And yes, Rook and Rasp, if you have any suggestions as to ones that we can do, because we're into like the last 3 or 4 of the classic books that I have. If you do have any suggestions, do let us know. I'd appreciate that. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yes, thank you everybody, and good night.
Good night.